Welcome to Berton's Kitchen. Today, folks, we are cooking a Southern classic, black-eyed peas, pork chops, and cornbread. Right now, what we've got started, we've got about 2 pounds of black-eyed peas in our big cast iron pot. This is a big pot, for sure. We've covered them with about an inch of water. And what we're going to do is we're going to let these peas come up to a good rolling boil. And you'll see the foam that's on the top of it now. What this is, that starch is cooking out of the peas. Your preference here, you can keep that water that's in the peas. I don't. I like to drain it off because it makes your peas a little bit darker. It has no effect on the taste, though, if you do drain it. So we'll let this come to a good rolling boil and probably boil for about 15-20 minutes. And no, by the way, I forgot to tell you, we've had these peas soaking for about 6 or 8 hours. Usually you do it overnight, but we forgot to put them on last night, so we put them on this morning, and so we could do the video here. So let's let this continue to boil, and we'll come back in just a few and show you what it looks like when we go to take it off, drain them, then we'll get started. All right, folks, welcome back to Berton's Kitchen. As you see that we have skimmed the starch off of the peas. They're still boiling, and you can see there's not much starch left. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the peas, we're going to drain them, drain this water off. We'll come back and we will begin cooking them. So let's move this over to the sink very carefully. If I can do this, I may have to have an assistant to help me. Oh, I made it. You see how dark the water is coming off of the peas? If you don't drain them, that's what your peas are going to cook in. And what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these out. All right. I need to go back to lifting weights. So, all right. Good. Successfully did that. All right. Let's now get the rest of these peas out right quick. Get my trusty spoon. Because we're going to leave the pot, leave the peas in this colander while we get our vegetables and our ham cooking. If you don't get all the peas out while you're cooking, the peas will burn, and you definitely don't want that. All right, that should be good. Go back over to the stove now. We're going to turn our stove down some to medium high. Pick this up. As you can see, folks, we're working in a real kitchen here. We're not in the studio somewhere. We're gonna put a couple tablespoons of cooking oil in the pot. I'm not measuring, I'm just kind of guessing, eyeballing it. And if we need more, we'll add it to it. We're gonna turn this up, let the oil come up to heat. In this measuring cup, we have about 3 cups of chopped yellow onions, and we'll cook those up first. Let those start cooking. All right, go ahead and dump those in. Ah, yeah, they're ready. When you hear the sizzle, they're ready to go. Give them a quick stir. Now we're going to cook these till they're translucent, or you can almost see through them. Take 3 or 4 minutes. If we want to, we can turn it up a little bit. Leave it about right there. We're going to go over and we're going to start out with 4 cups of water in a measuring cup. We're going to get roughly a tablespoon or so, or 2, of chicken bouillon. Now I'm using powdered chicken bouillon on this. You don't have to. You can get chicken stock. If you're going to use chicken stock, uh, check to make sure that it's low sodium, because in this you'll notice that we're not going to add any salt or pepper or anything at first. That'll come in later, because we just want to get everything mixed together and cooking right now. All right, we're going to go in the microwave with this for about 3 minutes or so while our peas and onions cooking. Right. I think I will add just a dash of salt to the onions to help bring out the natural sweetness. You know, if we're not putting much, just a little bit, so we can get the sweetness of the onion. Help bring that out. Let that cook just a little bit more, smooth those out. While these are cooking, let me tell you kind of the backstory behind black-eyed peas. Of course, being originally from Louisiana, that's what I grew up on, was black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas, cabbage, and cornbread, and some type of pork at New Year's, because it signifies good luck. Now, there's a lot of versions of the story that I'm about to tell you. This is going to be a quick story of it. And once we get this posted, the story will be on the recipe that I have to give you. The version of this story that I heard, it originated during the Civil War. It was in the heat of battle. There was a regiment of Confederate soldiers where they were marching, and they were out of food. The supplies had been cut off, and it was New Year's. Well, they came upon a farmhouse, and the people there welcomed them in. Well, in the South, uh, turnip greens, mustard greens, or collards are the preferred greens of choice by most people, and that's what the soldiers were used to eating. And of course, they had black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas was a staple. Well, they were out of peas, like I said. Their supplies had been cut off. So they came to the farmhouse, and the farmer that was there, of course, they had black-eyed peas, so they cooked black-eyed peas, but he grew cabbage. So they had cabbage instead of their traditional turnip greens, mustard, or collards. And they had uh, pork because he raised hogs. Well, after they had eaten and they thanked them, they said, you know, we need to remember this. And what they said was, the peas actually represents the good luck that they had in finding the farmer that was willing to let them come in and feed them. The cabbage, because it was green, would represent money that they would get once the war was over. And the pork represents forward progress, because anybody that knows anything about hogs, the only way that a hog can find anything else to eat is to root forward with their snout. So forward movement, going forward with pork, the greens for money, and the peas for good luck. So that's kind of the backstory behind a New Year's tradition, a version of it from Louisiana on the Deep South. All right, like I said, that story will be in with the recipe once we get this done. All right, now I'm going to put in probably about a pound of ham. Now, if you have a ham bone that's left over from Christmas, say that you cooked a big ham and, you know, you had the ham bone left. Well, what you do is freeze that, and then you can take it out. And when I put the ham in here, throw your ham bone in. It'll have some meat left on it, therefore you're getting the flavor. And that's what we're doing here. We're just going to take the onions here. They're almost done. And we're going to let the ham cook, get a little bit of flavor out of it. We'll let this brown up some. Now once we get that done, 2 more ingredients that we will add. We've got a couple tablespoons of fresh, finely minced garlic, and 3 oak leaves. I went out in the yard and picked. No, they're bay leaves, but kind of running joke there. Somebody saw me one time put some of this. I was cooking. They said, "What are you putting in?" I said, "Oh, it's just a couple of oak leaves that I found out there. They probably taste good, but actually bay leaves." We'll go ahead and drop those in and let those heat up. Now, one thing about a bay leaf, be careful when it's all done. You try to get them out because they will not get tender. You might as well go get you an oak leaf and try to eat it, because that's about what it would be like eating. So we'll let those start warming up. And yeah, we can, you can smell the ham is cooking, the bay leaves and the onions, all of it's coming together here nicely. Give this just a few more minutes. We'll throw our garlic in, give it a minute or two, then we'll go with our peas. And you might ask, well, why don't you put your garlic in while you're doing your onions? The garlic will burn very easily, so you wait till last, put that in, and you keep it in there until it becomes fragrant, till you smell it, then you're good to go. And you can hear this popping. Yeah, that's good. That's the ham. It's starting to sizzle. It's starting to do its thing. Need to stir it so your onions won't burn. And it's all looking good. It's all coming together here. As they say in the cooking world, it's marrying the flavors. A little bit about me, folks. I'm not a chef, not a trained chef, never been to a chef school, and don't even claim to be a good cook. I'm a person that likes to cook, that likes to tell stories, and likes to talk. So, hey, if you like what you see, and hit the like button, and follow me if you will. So we plan on doing this more often, just for the fun of it. And if anybody wants see something cooked, let me know. I'm not afraid to try anything. And we're going to come out with different things every week. And so, hit that like button. All right, let's get our peas now. And time for the peas to go in. Now, folks, this is going to be a big pot of peas, let me tell you. A big pot. We're going to get this stirred around, mixed up a little bit. Gonna leave our temp on our stove like it is. Keep it hot. Let me go up here. Get our chicken broth that we made. Alright, that's good there. We're gonna add water to it now, just plain water. We're gonna cover them a little bit more. We'll do it. And we'll let this come back to a boil. Now, from this point on, we're probably looking at hour and a half, 2 hours for this to cook. But we'll check on it as time goes. Oh, one thing I forgot to do. Yep. Hey, in the cooking world, it's all right. We're gonna add the garlic like this. It'll all be the same. I was cooking some rolls one time, and of course everybody knows that rolls have to have butter. Well, I had everything going. I had my rolls. I had them out. They were rising for the first rise, and I looked down. I forgot to put my butter in there, and I told my wife, I said, these things are not going to be fit to eat. So I said, all right, we're going to see how it turns out. So I got thinking, all right, let me Google and see what Google says about, adding butter later to rolls. Well, it said there's a way you could do it, and I started doing it like that. After the rolls rise the first time, I cut a slit into the top of it. I melt the butter, put it all over it, and leave a little bit before I put them in the oven. And believe you me, have nothing wrong with them. So hey, if you think you ruined it, you probably hadn't. So way with this garlic. It'll all, in 2 hours, it'll all come together. And we'll add more seasoning as we go. But for right now, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to put the lid on it after it comes to a boil. Put the lid on it, cut it down, let it sit there for about an hour or so. We'll come back, check the taste. We'll start adding some seasoning. All right, later. Welcome back to the kitchen, folks. As you can see, we've got our peas cooking here. They're coming along nicely. We will get to those in just a minute. We're working on our cornbread here now. What I've got in the bowl, I've got a cup of bread flour, or you can use all-purpose flour. I just happen to have bread flour. A cup of cornmeal, teaspoon of salt, 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder, and about a heavy half of a cup of sugar. Now, the cornbread we're making here today is a sweet cornbread. There's two cornbreads that live out in the world. I personally like both of them. I was raised on plain cornbread, but in some parts of Louisiana, in the South and up north, we have sweet cornbread. So what we're making today is sweet cornbread. Your preference, it's all the same. Just leave the sugar out and you're good to go. All right, so what we're going to do is we'll add 1 egg in here. And we're going to add 1 cup of milk. This is 1/2 of a measuring cup, 1/2 of a cup, so 2 of those make a full cup. Right this over here, out of the way. Put just a little bit of cooking oil. And let's give this a quick stir. And cornbread, of course, it's different than biscuits would be if we were making biscuits. And we may need a little more milk if we do. No, that's not a problem. Let's go ahead and add a little bit. Maybe you should do it. Let's try it. You can always add to a recipe, but you can never take it out. So if you go heavy-handed with something, well, there are ways that you can work around it, but it's better if you play on the safe side and kind of take it slow. All right. Now in the oven, I have a skillet that I have used for years. That I make only my cornbread and biscuits in. I don't cook anything else in it. So I'm going to take the oil that I have in here, excuse me, I'm going to dump it in. All right, leaving a little bit in the bottom, as you can see there. All right, then we're going to take regular cornmeal and we're going to dump it in the bottom. You see it should be starting to kind of cook a little bit. That's what you want. This prevents or helps the cornbread from sticking. So do not do as I have done before. Don't grab that handle with your bare hand because it is hot. What I do is I put the skillet in when I start preheating the oven, which is heated to 375, and I leave it in the entire time. All right, now we can just dump our cornbread mixture into the skillet. Now you don't have to use a cast iron skillet to cook your bread in. You can cook it in just a regular pan if you have that. But I've used this, and this is what I prefer. All right, and then we're going to take this, put it right back in the oven. And this will take probably 20-25 minutes till it's golden brown. Then that will be good. All right, let's move over to this side of the kitchen now. And let's look at our peas. All right, they've been cooking a little over an hour. And you can see that they're all starting to come together. Our juice is starting to reach right across here. Starting to thicken up a little bit. And haven't added any seasoning other than what we had earlier. So, let's taste it. See what it tastes like. Personally, I just like to taste the juice to see how it is and what it needs. That's pretty good, like it is. But just from tasting, I know it needs a little black pepper.
I'm gonna pause a second.
Wrap this meal up while our peas are done. I'll do a little bit of thickening on them. I'll show you how to do that. Our cornbread's done, and all we have to do is cook these chops. Won't take them very long. Let me tell you, we've been smelling this for about 2 hours, and believe you me, my belly thinks my throat's been cut. That's how good it smells and how hungry I am. All right, let's move along here. All right, what we're going to do to thicken these peas up a little bit. Now, you don't have to do this. This is just a preference thing. Take a wooden spoon like I have here, and then just start mashing some against the side. And what it's going to do is going to release the inside of the pea, and you'll see it start to thicken up here. Just make it as thick as you want. And you stir it in, you look at it, and do a few more just to be on the safe side. Get that down there. I think that looks good, folks. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw the lid back on that. We'll turn that down to low so it'll stay warm. All right, put the lid over here. All right, that was good. All right, let's go ahead and turn the heat on my skillet here. All right, what I have here is, it's called a chicken skillet. It's designed to hold at least one whole chicken and a half. You cut it up into pieces. You can fry in it. You can brown your chicken in it, put the lid on it here, put it in the oven, and make smothered chicken. But a chicken skillet. Cast iron, of course. All right, let's go ahead and put a little bit of cooking oil in here. And probably be enough. All right, we're going to come over here. We're going to put a little bit of oil on the pork chops just enough to get the seasoning to stick on it. All right, let me set this out of the way. Put my handy dandy doctor gloves on here. So we won't get cross contamination with our pork. Come on, where you at, Sabrina? There, got it. Right, what I'm gonna do is take my right hand. I'm gonna put this oil on here. I'll just turn these over. A little oil on the back side of them. Doesn't take much. Then take this secret recipe seasoning that I have. Actually, I'm going to take this glove off so I can do this better. Because no way I can sprinkle this left-handed. We would have a mess. This secret seasoning that I'm using here is this top secret that I'm sorry, but I can't give the recipe away on it. No, just kidding, really. Nothing but salt, black pepper, paprika, granulated garlic, and granulated onion. It's my go-to seasoning. Put it on ribs, put it on chicken, you put it on hamburgers, you can put it on hamburger steaks, you can put it on anything you want to. It's all around good. All right, let's call that good right there. Oh yeah, our skillet looks like it's doing perfect. It's smoking. Turn it down just a little bit. And you'll see why I use my chicken skillet, because I can get all 5 of these chops in there at once. All right, let's feed them in there. Now I can take this one off. Throw these aside. And let's see. And just gonna make sure these are hitting the bottom of the skillet. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually take this, sear them up on both sides, put it in the oven, and finish it there. But we're going to finish straight on the stove top. And we'll check them in just a minute. See what we're going to do in the meantime. I'm going to grab a plate. To let you fine folks see that I'm not afraid to eat what I cook. Let's see how he looks. Looking good. I'm gonna move him around a little bit. Let him get adjusted in there a little bit more. Cook on the other side. You may wonder, how do I know when to turn the meat over when it's, good, when it's done? I've heard it several ways, but one way is you can look in the side of it, and if it's turning brown like it is here, that's an indication. You can flip it, or when you see the blood coming from the bone, that's actually another indicator. But you can always just turn it over. If it looks like that, we can turn it over. Oh yeah, see. Friend, that looks good. Yeah, that could be a little bit more with we'll cook it back over. We'll turn it back over. Go and get all of them. That one's a little bit pale, but all right. Really, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the lid on it real quick, hold the heat in, and that'll help them cook too. And let's give this a few minutes. While we're doing that, I'll go ahead and cut the cornbread. We have a knife over here. Cut us a piece of cornbread. Get it ready, because when the chop comes out, we'll definitely have to taste it. Looks good. All right. Give this just a few minutes and it won't be long. Now you can cook your pork chops to whatever temp you want. You can get the digital thermometer and you can check it. And me, I just kind of go by the way that they look. And, you know, they're usually pretty good like that. There you got some. Oh yeah, they're looking good. I'll turn these puppies over right here. Yep. Somebody's getting eaten alive out there right here. Our guard dog is eating them. That dog that you hear, folks, is the mighty dog. It weighs about 2 pounds. Name is Honeybee. And she's something. She rules the roost. If anybody's gonna wind up in the dog house, it's gonna be her and not me. For sure. And there's Honeybee back over here behind us. Get a shot of Honeybee. There's Honeybee. The queen of the house. We're well done. Let's go into this one. 176. Friends, they're done. All right, let's take one out. Well, put the pan right here. We'll put them in here. That way we can keep them covered as long as keep them warm. And I'm going to take this one right here. And we're going to give the old taste test to this one. Put him on the plate. Now this is the way I like my peas in cornbread. Yep. Take this off. Now, go in, let's stir this around. Yep. Hadn't taken oak leaves out yet, but I will before we start digging in. I'll just make sure I don't get one. I like to take my peas, go right over the top of my cornbread, like that. All right. Let's take this now. Let's see what it's like. All right. Cut some pieces of pork off. Yes, perfectly nice, moist, juicy. See how you taste it. Now, for the crown jewel. Make sure I get some of that ham in there. Folks, I know what you call it where you're from, or where I'm from. That's called good eating.